Okay, so now we're going to import our player. Um, we need to go to the models folder, and here we're going to make a new folder, and we're going to call it player. Okay, so let's get into player, and in the folder, in the resources folder, here, this is our resources. So we're going to uh, get the zombie murderer in models. So we're gonna grab the zombie murderer FBX, and we're going to put it right here in player. So we have our player, but now we need to import its texture. So we're going to go into textures, and let's grab um, textures here from zombie murderer textures. Here we have this texture is JPG, JPG, and that's it. We have our model and we have our texture. So um, let's go into the material folder. Here we already have this fantasy demon that grabs the it holds the texture for our platform, and we're going to make a new material. Let's click on create, and where you are, so material. Okay, so uh, let's name it player material. Okay, and now in inspector, let's say the shader is going to be only texture, and in this square we're going to say, okay, select, we're going to select the zombie texture. Okay, we have it. That's it. So let's grab our model or player, and let's put it here in the hierarchy. So here we have it. As you know, once we put the player here in hierarchy, we get the player with his transformation resets, that is position 0, 0, 0, rotation 0, 0, 0, and scale 1, 1, 1. Here we have this component, this animator component, but we're not going to use this component in this object. So right now we need to delete the component. Let's assign remove component, and that's it. Okay, so now we need to rotate our player something like this. Okay, and let's texture. We're going to materials. I have this, the player material, and I'm going to drag and drop in this part. Okay, so we have this this part of the mesh with the texture, and we need to put the texture in this part of the mesh too, within the knife and in the rope, and here in the skeleton. Ay, no, that's not what I wanted. So here, okay, so here we have our player with our texture, and now if you see the view game, we're going to see our player like this. You can check how the rotation I got on the axis. So that's it. That's we need. That's what we need to do. Okay. So now, what we need to do is make one empty new object and name it player. But here we're going to see something new. I need the new empty object. I need to for this object I need that put this new object exactly in the same place where my object zombie murderer is. So if I just deselect all and I make a empty new object, you see that is kind of a random place, you know. So this is not what I want to do. I just delete the object. I need to select the zombie murderer. Please keep an eye on this, because this we're going to make this method. We're going to do it um, a lot of times. So we grab the zombie murderer from here, from hierarchy, and click right click and say create empty. So if you see our new game object is exactly in the same position that our zombie murderer. You can see 000 on this 140. So huh, well, that's good for me. Okay, but now um, this game object is child of zombie murderer, so I need to grab him and drag outside the hierarchy. Now you see it's outside. I'm going to name it as player, and yes, you see what I told you a few seconds ago. Our player has exactly the same transformations that zombie murderer, and that's not what I want. What I want is for my player that rotations is 0. So the rotation on X, Y, and Z are 0, so I can grab this and I can move it on the X axis. Yeah. So this is the way that I need to put my new project, my new object. So now I have my setup of my player object right how I need it. Now I can put zombie murderer as child of my player, and that's what we need. So we can rotate our zombie murderer. We can rotate it like this, for instance. But our player object, it remains on 000. So I can do this, yeah, and that's what we need to be aware of. Okay, so now we need to give a component to our player object. So uh, you have your player selection, and then at component we're going to give him a rigid body. Because it's 3D, we're not going to use rigid body to this rigid body. And here we have a few settings with mass and drag. Here is where we can put his gravity. The kinematic option, we're going to see it later, is very important. We can use constraints and collision detections. So now that we have a rigid body for our player, we can use physics with him. And then now we need to put a collider. If I press play, you will see that our player is going to uh, pass over the platform, because the player don't have, you see, the player don't have a collider. Our platform has a collider, but our player do not have a collider. So now we're going to give a capsule capsule collider. So this is our collider, and we're going to make the setup with the height, something like this, and the center we're going to move it up. Okay, it's very now it's very tall for our player. I guess this is good. I think this is what we need. Let's test it with play, and that's it. We have our collider for our player. Okay, and that's it. We have our player in our scene. In the next lesson, we're going to work with the horizontal movement, and we're going to see our first script. So I see you guys in the next lesson.